I would say implementation is going to be a challenge. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people say, cool idea, how are you going to make it happen, right?
Right,
No
right.
matter what you do, some like elite oligarch aristocracy is going to like fuck this up and then you won't be able to do anything, right?
Right.
Or it's going to be corrupted in some way. And I
Yeah.
would say that's a legitimate concern. And I would say there's no like playbook for how this actually plays out, right? Um, I think it's undeniable that we live in historic times, whether that's like environmental changes or whether that's technological changes. Society will change,
Yeah.
and there's this thing called the illusion of continuity, where like, you know, we live our day-to-day lives and we feel like, oh yeah, everything's the same, everything's always been the same. Like 100 years ago, or less than 100 years ago, was World War II, the Great Depression. 100 years before that was the Civil War. 100 years before that was the Revolutionary War. Like these are like lifetime scales where like enormous changes have happened.
Right.
Change is inevitable, and it
Yeah.
will happen again. And I just really hope that the sortition movement is matured to the point where, like, when that major change happens, that the people can demand that they be put in power for once.
Yeah, and I think in that case, the example from LA is so germane to what we're talking about. I was doing some reading recently about general strikes, and there's a very famous date that's been put out by the United Auto Workers, May 1st, 2028, as a possible date for a big general strike.
Yeah.
And you know, a bunch of other unions are encouraged to have that date in mind. But as I was reading about it, another person made a great point, which is like, you never know when opportunity is going to come for something like that. For people, like, people right now are completely disenchanted with our system.
Right.
And if there was some kind of scandal where, you know, sortition advocates could just point to it and go like, look, here's your another example of how corrupt election systems are and how
Right.
much they're not representing us.
Right.
And just, you know, seize the day, seize the moment, just like they did in Los Angeles with the city council that you described, and just be like, here's an alternative that we have. Is Milton Friedman is someone I don't admire or respect at all, but he said that, you know, when a crisis comes up, you need to be ready for it.
Right.
You need to have your plan ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta have it all drawn, you know, ready to go. Like, here it is. Here's your option.
We got a lot to learn from those neoliberals, man.
Don't say that.